Welcome to Bronze and Modern Gods. I'm John.
And I'm Richard.
And we are here together again on a Monday. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Bronze and Modern Gods if you're not already. If you like this video, you know the deal. You help us out when you hit like. You help us even more when you hit subscribe. And if you want to know when we go live, hit that notification bell. And if you like, leave us a comment. We always read them and we always answer them on viewer mail episodes. Correct?
Correct. We are starving for comments. So if you like us, don't like us, just give us your opinion.
We're super thirsty this week. Richard, we have a great topic this week that you thought of. Why don't you tell everybody what it is?
Yeah, we're going to pick our top 3 favorite covers in our collection. Not necessarily a favorite book, but the favorite cover.
Interesting. We also have our underrated books of the week, the 25-year rule, where we go back to 1997. And we always start off on Mondays, like we always do, with our hot book of the week. Richard, what is it?
Like everyone else this week, New Avengers number 7.
We got to cover it. I mean, we can't ignore it.
Yeah, we can't ignore it. Anybody who watched the Super Bowl this last weekend saw the commercial that Marvel put out for Doctor Strange, and it was awesome. It was awesome. So, but one of the things that came about, Doctor Strange was captured by Mordo and was led into this chamber with these chairs sitting up in judgment, and one person spoke, and that voice sounded just like Jean-Luc Picard.
Yes. Plot twist.
Oh, it's Patrick Stewart, and it sounded like Patrick Stewart. I screamed like a little girl when I heard it. I did not watch the Super Bowl, but I did watch this commercial, and his appearance in the movie, if it's true, right now it's still not confirmed. He would probably show up as a member of the Illuminati. And the Illuminati is a body of superheroes out to protect the world, kind of like what superheroes do. But he's one of the members. You've got other members like Black Bolt, Namor, Black Panther, Dr. Reed Richards.
Yeah, but are they going to be at that cosmic scale where they can pass judgment on Doctor Strange?
I don't know. It's one of those specs that I want to be true so bad, because I want the mutants in the MCU so bad that I'm afraid that might color my judgment about this.
Well, you didn't see the breaking news today, did you then, Richard?
No, I didn't.
Apparently there will be a Wolverine in Doctor Strange. I saw a couple of places reporting that today. You guys, it's a rumor, so caveat emptor. Raws for New Avengers 7 are selling for $70 to $125 on eBay right now. If you've got a 9.8, you're sitting on $600. Please don't sit on it. You're going to break the slab.
The funny thing is, the commercial aired, and I immediately went to eBay and looked at the prices for the books on eBay. A 9.8 was $300, $299.
And you bought one, didn't you?
Of course I did.
You always do that.
In the span of 2 hours, that price went up to $700.
Crazy.
It's back.
I've got a Raw. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. But there's also, it's funny because the other cover for this, the Century retro variant cover, was the hot book last year when all the rumors about the Century were flying around, and now it's really flipped, and the A cover seems to be the one people are gravitating to. So, New Avengers 7. If you got it, do what thou wilt. If you don't have it, I don't know. Do you need to buy it now?
No.
I wouldn't. I mean, it's $600 for a spec. I mean, you're really rolling the dice. And that's assuming it's the same Illuminati. I'm telling you, how are they going to introduce all these new characters in a 2-hour movie and have it make sense for the civilians? And I don't know. It may be an Illuminati. I don't think it will be the Illuminati, but I have been wrong many times in my life.
Yeah. For $300, I thought it was interesting buying it. At $600, I don't think I would do
Mm,
it without more confirmation.
right. I would try to find a really crispy raw copy on eBay and press it and see what you get. So let's move on to our main topic, our favorite comic book covers of all time. Richard and I have been in this game for years. I don't want to say how many decades, but combined, we've been collecting for 475 years. Is that right? Math?
Something like that.
Okay. Algebra. I don't know. So we're going to cover what we feel are our favorite comic book covers of all time. Now, this is 100% uh is it objective? I always get confused which is objective and which is
It's subjective.
it's subjective.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's not objective, it's subjective. So you're going to see a lot of Bronze Age here. You're going to see a lot of classic covers. So strap yourselves in. It's no big surprise. My first favorite comic book cover of all time is a Captain America cover.
Hmm.
It is Captain America number 171 from 1974, 73. This is a classic John Romita cover. I used to stare at this cover and listen to my 45 records spin over and over again and just look at the detail and just the really clean lines and the great brushwork of John Romita. He did so many covers in the Bronze Age for Marvel. It was just classic. That Captain America pose that's on this cover that you're seeing right now, they altered his face to make him smile, and they used it in licensing a lot on posters, on notebooks. You probably have seen that Captain America figure in other places. You've got the Falcon with his brand new wings, which were made by Wakandan technology. There's the Black Panther. If you're going to mention Wakanda, T'Challa's not going to be far behind. And it's just a classic cover. I mean, how could you not grab that off the newsstand when you saw it at the drugstore, Richard?
I know, it's beautiful.
Well, why don't you share your first pick?
First of all, I want to say that I eliminated the obvious choice for my first pick because everyone knows I am a huge Doctor Doom fan. Marvel superheroes number 20 is automatically my
I
favorite
thought you were
choice.
going to say Albedo too.
Love that cover, but I have other covers I think I like better. Uh, I picked a Silver Age, well, actually, I picked a Bronze, Copper, and a Modern book. Um, the Bronze book is X-Men 101.
Oh,
Yes, can't I had to pick an X-Men book. X-Men are so central to my love of comics. That cover with Phoenix, bursting out of the water, the blue background and the green, her green costume and the red hair. It's just such a striking cover. It really just pops, and I have it in my collection, and it's easily one of my favorite books. Now, if you're a fan of the X-Men and you don't know the Phoenix Saga, or the Dark Phoenix Saga, which follows it, it's probably to me the highlight of that title. Those stories are just so powerful and well told. Chris Claremont deserves kudos for that whole storyline.
so one thing always bugged me about this cover. It's Dave Cockrum. It's great. It's really striking. I'm sure this really helped the book go from bi-monthly to monthly. But look at Cyclops in the ocean with his mouth wide open. What are you doing swallowing all that salt water, Scott?
Oh well,
Jeez.
yeah. Well, he's drowning. That's what he's doing.
Dramatic license. All right, my next favorite comic book cover of all time is probably a sort of shocker for some people because I'm not a big Spider-Man guy. However, I'm a big Gil Kane guy and I'm a big John Romita guy. I had to pick a Gil Kane cover because just about 90% of the Marvel Comics covers in the 70s were drawn in some way by Gil Kane, or at least laid out. Amazing Spider-Man 129.
Wow.
I know. Look at it though. It's Gil Kane. It's John Romita. The composition. I mean, it's brilliant. You've got the scope of the Punisher, enlarged, so you can see Spider-Man. There's actually a sense of danger for Spider-Man. You know, the guy who dodges bullets routinely every 10 minutes. All of a sudden, it looks like, whoa, he's actually in danger from some bullets. And it's a great introduction to the Punisher. You see this guy on the cover and you're like, whoa, this man means business. And I'm all about the details. There's one really good detail on this cover that gets me every time. And that is the Punisher's hands holding the rifle. Do you know how hard that is to draw? Those hands
Really?
anatomically correct holding a rifle like that. Try it sometime and see how you do without a model or any reference.
Yeah, this is a great cover. Um, it's just classic. When you think of Spider-Man, the top 10 Spider-Man covers, this is easily in that number.
It could have gone so horribly wrong too, because they could have taken the other way and introduced the Jackal on the cover
Yeah, yeah.
because it's his first appearance as well. And boy, would history have been very, very different. What's your next one?
My next one is one of my favorite covers from the Bronze Age, or Copper Age, I guess you would consider it. It's Thor 337.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
yes, the Beta Ray Bill cover. Man, this Walt Simonson is one of my favorite artists, and he just knocked this one out the park. He's got Beta Ray Bill smashing his hammer, and he destroys the Thor logo in the corner box. This is so dynamic and so action packed. Um, and Walt, I have a signed copy of this, a signed 9.8. And Walt, when he draws his signature, it's like a little dinosaur.
It's a dinosaur.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little dinosaur on it.
Brontosaurus.
Yeah, and it's awesome. It's awesome. It's one of my favorite signatures. So yeah, we're expecting that we'll see Beta Ray Bill in the MCU either through Guardians of the Galaxy or some other vehicle. I don't care. I've been a Beta Ray Bill fan since the '80s. So regardless if he's in it or not, I'm a big fan, and this cover is easily one of my favorite books from that age.
Remember when this came out? It was so under ordered. Thor was,
Oh
in the
yeah.
pits at
Mhm.
that time. Nobody was expecting Walt Simonson as the artist to suddenly be a hot writer as well and bring Thor out of its doldrums. Don't forget, Walt Simonson was drawing Thor for a few years before this came out. So his return to the title was not a big deal. And then people saw this cover and saw what was going on, and those copies disappeared from shelves. Comic book dealers were running to drugstores and newsstands and buying all the copies up because the demand was so high. And Marvel, didn't do a second print back then. That was not a thing back then. So it went from a 60-cent book to a $5 book overnight. And
Mhm.
$5 for a comic book.
Yep, there is the newsstand obviously is the if you're looking for value is probably the choice. Although there is a Canadian price variant, you can tell that because it has a dollar for the price on the cover. That is also a strong buy. But whatever, just buy it. If you like Thor, or if you like these cool covers, buy it.
Before I get to my top comic book cover of all time, I do have to mention there were a lot of ones that I considered. Um, any Art Adams covers from his
Oh yeah.
classics. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
there were so many. Michael Golden, some of those classic Michael Golden covers I love. Even there's a couple of Jim Lee ones like X-Men 268. There's so many out there that I could have picked. But if we're talking all time books that changed my life, spoiler alert, I'm wearing it now. If you're watching on YouTube, it is Captain America 193. No surprise here. Kirby is back. I had no idea what that meant when I was a kid when I bought this off the newsstand. Who's King Kirby? Why is he important? Why are the knees square? Why is his fist so misshapen? Why is he doing the splits? Uh it was I don't want to say repulsive. It was odd and really appealing all at once. This cover is two of my favorite artists combined. It's Kirby and Romita. Romita taking some of the rough edges off of Jack's pencils, and polishing it up. Particularly on Cap's face. That's definitely a Romita face. But it's just, you saw this on the stands and it looked like it was 3D. It was impossible. It was just amazing. And I remember the playground being split down the middle about Jack Kirby. Half of people were like, whoa, what is this weird old fashioned square fingers squiggly line thing? And the other half going, this is amazing. I don't know why I like it, but I do. Obviously, I was on that side. And I remember people being upset that this story ran for 8 issues, which was unheard of then. This Mad Bomb saga is going on and on and on and on and on. But this cover has stayed with me. I have a pool floaty that has this on it. I have several t-shirts that have this image on it. Again, it was an image, the Cap image isolated was used for licensing. Particularly, there was Mead notebook paper, and it came with an iron-on the front that had this image, and I made my mom buy me a 200 ream of Mead notebook paper so she could iron that on a white t-shirt for me, and I wore the crap out of that thing. So absolutely, Cap 193 is my all-time favorite comic book cover. No surprise here.
Nope, none whatsoever.
I mean, you came up with this. I'm like, people are going to know.
Yeah, well, that's why, yeah, okay.
I'm down with it. I just, I hope you guys weren't expecting like a big left turn or anything.
Well, I eliminated my default choice, my de facto choice.
Yeah. I should have done that, huh?
Yeah, well, yeah, not really. It's up to you. I wanted to include a book. Okay, so I've done bronze and copper. The modern book, to me, the best book in the past 5 years by far is Wonder Woman Black and Gold, the Warren Liu cover.
Oh, wait, hold on a second. Not counting Marvel Superheroes number 20.
Mm-hmm.
This is your favorite comic book cover of all time.
Of all time. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's one of those covers when you look at it, and if you're listening, it's a picture of Wonder Woman, and she's on the cover. It's in black and white with gold highlights, and she's looking up at something off the screen, and it's the look on her face, the expression of her face is so pensive and so like she's longing for something or needs something, it's just it just conveys so much emotion in that cover. I just can't stop looking at it. Whenever I pull it out, I sit there and I just stare at it.
I have
So
the beholder because it looks like to me like she stepped on a rake like Sideshow Bob.
really,
She's like,
it just gets me every time. To capture a moment in time like that on a comic book cover or any medium actually is just amazing, and she's just beautiful. It's just so that to me easily in the last gosh, I can't even think of another modern cover that I find so striking and so visually appealing as that
who's
cover.
the artist again?
Warren Liu.
Interesting. And has Warren Liu done anything else that's jumped out at you like this? I'm not
Yes.
familiar.
He's done a couple. He favors this realistic style. But
Boy, he's lapping Alex Ross in this department for
yes,
sure.
yes. And it's he's done a number of covers, but none. And he even admits that this cover exceeded his
Mm,
expectations and abilities in putting this together. It's a rare cover. There is a trade dress version and a minimum trade dress version. Um, the minimum trade dress goes raw for about 180. Um, and it's but you can get the trade dress version for about 60 bucks, 50
mm,
bucks. I would buy one because this makes me feel like, the Ghost Spider number
yeah,
2 cover. It's one of those or the Legion of Superheroes number 23, the Supergirl cover.
yeah.
It's one of those covers I think has longevity to it, and people are going to seek out this cover in 5 years. Um, like they seek out those covers. And now's the time to buy into it. And just overall, it's just such a beautiful cover. You can't go wrong with purchasing. And she did not step on a rake.
Sorry. She just looks like she's dazed, like, "Hmm?" All right, I take it back. She didn't step on a rake.
All right, now you told me 3, but I have to intervene because there's one other cover that I think is really important to me, and that is the cover for Love and Rockets #1,
Ah,
the
yeah.
original series. It's that lineup of women, black cover with the yellow background for the lineup and all these different cast of characters in that lineup. It's just such an awesome cover. Jaime Hernandez just did such amazing job setting up that the emotion, the environment for Love and Rockets, the series. And it changed over the time. It went from the kind of spacefaring,
Yeah.
space opera kind of thing to just to hoppers, to a more realistic environment. But this cover, it's been homaged a number of times. But to me, this is just such a cool cover. I had to sneak it in.
What's amazing about Jaime is he does an idealized version of normal women,
Mhm.
which is it's an oxymoron when you think about it. They're supposed to be normal, they're supposed to be average and realistic, and yet they're idealized. And even on this cover, the economy of line,
Mhm.
the less is more. He got even less as he went on, where it was like every line was necessary. There was no extra shading, nothing to distract the eye. And I'm stunned. I in a perfect world he would be a multi millionaire.
Amen.
I hope he's getting paid the way he deserves it. So that's our picks. What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. Let the debate begin. Does Wonder Woman look like she got hit in the face with a frying pan? I don't think so. Do you, Richard? Wait, I was the one that said
You were the one that said it.
it. All right, let's head back to 1997 when we were much, much younger.
Much younger.
Bush was on what, their third album? Yes, I made a Bush reference. It's time for the 25-year rule. All right, 1997. Not a good time for comics in general. Not a good time for the next poor superhero here who went from earth-shattering event to earth-shattering event, chasing that heroin high that he was never able to reach since the death of Superman, and that is Superman number 123, the debut of Superman's new costume, new logo, and his electrical based powers. Why? Why?
Oh.
Hey, Richard, it's a glow in the dark cover.
Oh my goodness. I
Hey,
can't I
Richard,
can't believe DC did this.
there's even a second print, Richard.
Really?
It did well. It did well. Luckily, this lasted just about a year. Again, it was how can we do an event every year for Superman that tops him dying and coming back? I don't think anything's going to top it. So you just have to try new things. My man Ron Friends drew this. I love Ron Friends. Not everybody does perfect jobs. He's not editorial. He's not in charge of the story. He's drawing the vision. Um, GPA, not as bad as I thought this would be. The last sale for our CGC 9.8 was $156, and a raw runs you about $15 on eBay. I thought this was going to be dollar bin material, but I
I'm
guess not.
surprised.
The thing about Superman is it was event in the 90s, but it was always well written. I know you dropped off at this point, but
Yeah, yeah. Is
this
now is
was
this pre-mullet Superman or is this
this is
post-mullet?
post
Okay.
mullet. This is still the weekly. Every week there's a different Superman title. You got to read them in order. Uh, it gets even weirder. He splits into two, so there's Superman Red and Superman Blue, and then there's Superman 2900. In the future, it's a lot. It's a lot, Richard. It's a lot.
Wow.
So let's leave it right there in 1997.
at least DC learned that lesson, not to
Have they?
destroy their major characters like that.
Yes, at least they've, yeah, wink, wink.
Yeah,
Yeah, is that
yeah,
what, are you being
I
sarcastic?
am being sarcastic.
Okay, just checking, just checking. All right, let's move on to our underrated books of the week. Richard, I'm not surprised. You've talked about this character often.
Yeah, my pick is Amazing Spider-Man number 5 from 2015. This is the first appearance of Silk, or I'm sorry, this is the
Second.
second appearance of Silk. Her first cover appearance. She's there hiding in the background of the cover. Her first appearance was in ASM number 4. And I think Silk is going to be an interesting support character in the long term part of the Spider universe. So Silk is a Spider character. She got her powers the same day that Peter Parker got his. She is a Korean American, and she is not only one of the Spider characters can be put into one of those Spider related movies, either Spider Verse or a future Spider Man movie, or a female Spider movie that they've rumored. But she's also a member of the New Agents of Atlas, which is a great cast of South Asian characters and superheroes, and she could be a part of a movie that ties into them. She is slated for her own TV show someplace in the future. We don't have a specific date and have it on the timeline yet. But I think she's going to be a great character, and this is her second appearance. Again, people who can't afford the first appearance gravitates towards the second. And the 9.8 for the second appearance, the last sale was $200. It's got a 90-day average of 159, so it's trending up. But you can still get raws for around $30 if you look on eBay. So it's a great spec, in my opinion, just to have it in your long box. The secret, though, is that there is a second print, and Marvel I went looking on Comicron trying to find numbers for this thing, and it is nothing.
Oh,
If you look at the CGC, for example, there are 168 copies of the first print on the census. There are 12 of the second print.
wow.
So, and it's really funny because, Marvel normally indicates, of this age, this a second print with a blue border across the bottom. But this cover is slightly different, and instead, under the number 5 in small print, it says second print.
Oh,
So people may not know they actually have a second print. So I
wow.
was looking on eBay. I was trying to track down a second print, and I found evidence of people very quietly picking these things up.
Hmm.
So they are hard to find on eBay. There's one out there right now for $100. Um, but you can still find people who don't realize what they have, and you may be able to snipe something for a more reasonable amount of money.
Isn't it crazy that later printings are expensive now?
Yeah, I know, I
I
know.
mean, I hate to sound like the old dude podcast, but uh, later printings used to be trash, kids. All right. Moving on to my pick for underrated book of the week. It is Daredevil number 380. This is the last issue of the original run, volume 1 of Daredevil. Return to the classic logo, the creative team of Dan Chichester and Lee Weeks, who did such a good job. Just a classic style Daredevil story to show how it's done. Kingpin, some villains, underworld intrigue. Before the new kids, Kevin Smith and Joe Quesada take over and relaunch Daredevil with a number 1 for Marvel Knights and change Marvel forever, basically. This last issue of Daredevil only had a print run of 25,597 copies. It was on its last legs. This is when Marvel was routinely canceling books that fell below 20K.
Mhm.
Raws of this book sell between 11 and 20 bucks for high grades, and the GPA 12-month average for a CGC 9.8 is 91 bucks. So, you got weirdos like me that love collecting last issues. If you do not have the last issue of Daredevil's original run 380, it seems to be picking up. People are glomming onto this. Again, it was just it kind of went out with a whimper, absolutely. But yeah, I wonder if our friend Forrest, the biggest Daredevil fan in the world, has a slab copy. Oh,
Yeah, I'm sure he's got a couple.
I'm sure he does. All right, that is going to wrap it up for us for a Monday. Everybody, thank you for joining. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Bronze and Modern Gods. Like this video, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we will see you later on. Richard.
Yep. Everybody stay safe.